If I say hello to a white person and they are not responding to me, it's because they are racist. Diplomatic and lying. Yeah. Somebody can be nice to you and still do you dirty. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome. Where have you been? Welcome and thanks for tuning in. And if you're returning to Miss, thanks for being here. You're amazing. Thanks for your support and thanks for your love and thanks for everything. Thanks for being here. Thanks for clicking to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed the video because I'm planning to enjoy filming this. So today I'm going to be sharing with you wrong assumptions I've made since I got to Canada. General wrong assumptions. I know with this kind of videos, you know that it's always fun. It's always interesting. So definitely keep watching and watch till the very end. Thank you. As I'm thinking of all the assumptions now, you know, in my head I'm already laughing like, So the first assumption. So this may be because Christy is a local girl. Local girl in Canada. Christy is a local girl, and this assumption may be just because I'm just a local girl. So it might not be, you know, an assumption that every other person might be making. And that assumption is that every black person is a Nigerian. I don't know, in my head it's just this world is just a small place and it's either Nigeria or Canada. Maybe not like the way I just said it, but I don't know, I just have this wrong assumption that every person that is like that has my color is a Nigerian. And going from that, I also assume that every white person is not an immigrant. Every white person is a Canadian and every black person is an immigrant, which is totally not true. We have lots of other African countries here. So there was a day I was actually at the bus stop back in my bus days. Back in my bus days, I was at the bus stop and I met this wonderful black woman. And we got talking, and you know, even the way she was speaking was like, you know, Nigerian our normal way of speaking English and all that. And I was like, oh, so which part of Nigeria are you from? And she was like, no, she's not from Nigeria, she's a Ghanaian. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Why did I assume you're from Nigeria? And that is, you know, I think that was one of the days. I still made that, you know, assumption after that time. But that was one of the days I was like, Christy, you are not, you know, in Nigeria it is you find few other people, like few people from other countries. But here we have diverse people, you know, different people, Jamaica, like people are from different places, and the fact that they are the same color with me does not mean that they are from Nigeria. And I also have this wrong assumption about white people that once you are white, I just assume that once you are white and you're not Asian, you're not Filipino, you know, you're not, there are some people that once we hear them speak, we know that, okay, so these people are actually from other countries. But once you're not from all those places, that from your English, I can easily come to the conclusion that you're not from, you know, like you're not a Canadian or you're not an American or something. I just assume that you're not an immigrant. But babe, there are some Americans that immigrated here. They are immigrants too. You know, there are some immigrants, white immigrants from other countries, for whatever reason they decide to immigrate to Canada. So it's not only Africans that are immigrating or people of other countries. So those are wrong assumptions that I have made based on skin color. If you are black, you are definitely Nigerian, and if you are white, you are definitely not an immigrant, which are not right assumptions. Another wrong assumption I've made is that this one, lots of people might be making it too, and this one is that if I say hello to a white person and they are not responding to me, it's because they are racist. That was not true. That was so not true. And people have different personalities. Some people don't want to be greeted good morning. Some people don't want to be said hello to, no matter what your color is, no matter who you are. Even if you are their bosses, they don't want to say hello. They don't want to, in the morning most especially. Some people just want to, you know, for example, come into the workplace and go to their desk and, you know, get on with their day, get their coffee and get on with their day. If you say hello and the person does not respond, it's not because the person does not want to speak with a black person or the person is a racist or the person, no, it is just because some people, that's the way they are in the morning, you know. And I think when we got here was when I understand better the meaning of when they say somebody is not a morning person. There are some people that are not morning people, or there are some people that are not even any time of the day people. Like they don't want to talk to you, and it's not because they are racist. It's not because they don't want to. It's not because of your skin color. It's just because they don't want to talk to anybody. It doesn't matter whether your skin is as white as paper or is as black as charcoal. They just want to be. So it is wrong of me to assume that because I greeted somebody and person, of course, a white person, and person did not respond, that means the person is a racist. Wrong assumption right here, baby. Wrong assumption right there, fam. So that was another wrong assumption I made. And of course, because how did I decide that was a wrong assumption? I think I just realized that, well, this person is nice. Maybe this person is not, for example, someone you just meet on the street and say hello to. This person is someone you interact with, and apart from the time you say hello, the person is nice otherwise. This person is not mean throughout your interaction. So you not getting a response to your hello does not mean that this person is a racist. So it's wrong assumption. Another assumption I have made, guys, this one have cost me going from high to low. And this assumption was that, during interview, the interviewer is, you're getting green lights. The person is like, oh, this is good, this is wonderful, yeah. Okay, so the person is already talking to you about things that makes you feel like, oh, it's like I got this job. There was even one interview I went for, guys, and the feedback I got was that I passed, but they don't have I don't know who does interview. I don't know who puts out job vacancies, and they don't have space for the job. That was what they told me. And in my head, in my assumptions, I assumed that the person was telling me the truth, whereas the person was just being diplomatic with me. Like, diplomatic and lying and making me feel like the best thing that happens is sliced bread. The person was so, you passed this interview, you were really good, we really we really, we really, but oh, right now we don't have space for you. We are definitely keeping your name in our top, and once we have space, we are going to call you. And honestly, that was this was when we just came, and honestly, I believed that this person was saying the truth. And I think it was my interaction with subsequently that I knew that that person was just trying to not make me feel like not make me feel bad. The person was just being diplomatic with me. The person was just being being careful of what they will say they were careful of their words. They were careful of not saying things that would maybe get me in a bad mood or something. They were just careful. They were just being careful. They were just being diplomatic and not pass the test, because they never called me back. Even though they told me I passed, I did very good. My name is going to be top of the. I did not get. How many months have we been here? This is over a year. And this was just when we came to Canada. I did not get a call back from this company that said I passed the test. So sometimes people will be nice to you. And that was what happened the day we got, the day we got arrested by peace. They call them peace officers. Not arrested. The day we were stopped on the road by peace officers, and this was the assumption we made too, because this person was nice. The peace officer was nice, telling us, oh, sorry for the inconvenience, you have to follow us to our office. The person was so nice. We got a new car seat. The person was so nice. The person was, apologetic, for booting into our day. Apologetic for, not making our day go the way we have planned it. And our mind, we are like, thank God, this person will not give us, this person will not give us tickets. Lies. After all the apologetic and all the things, sorry for the inconvenience, and your babies are so cute, and we still got a ticket. So the fact that people are nice to you does not mean that they will still not. Maybe I'll say it doesn't mean they won't still do what they are supposed to do, or it doesn't mean that they really want to be nice to you. It's just that Canadians are generally nice. So it's don't think it too much that your colleague at work that is extra nice to you. Don't make the mistake and think that your colleague that is being nice to you, that you are smiling together, going for coffee together, doing all these things together, cannot go and report you to say your supervisor for whatever reason. Don't think it. The person can finish reporting you, right, and still come and smile with you and still tell you after the reporting that you should go for coffee together. And still tell you, are you ready to go for lunch? Can we go for lunch? The person just finished reporting you. Back in Nigeria, we know that if this person does not like you, anybody that does not like you, you will know it. that this person does not like me and this person can harm me, or this person can do me bad, can do me dirty. Is that what they say? That's what they say now. This person can do me dirty. But here, somebody can be nice to you and still do you dirty, because their niceness does not mean that, I don't know, it doesn't mean it's not, or maybe I'll say it's not entering the bone marrow. So don't assume that this person is. And I think I saw, yeah, not think. I saw a video on YouTube about somebody that, was in the care job, or maybe she was sharing the experience of another person. She was working in the care job, and our care job required that she visits patients in their houses. And one of the times she went to visit the patient, just to help them around the house and all that, the person was just, she thought it was just, the person was just having conversation with her. The person was just asking her, how is it? How has it been since she got here? How is she finding the job? And all that. And I don't know why she thought she could, be so, open and all that. She was like, she's not been finding it easy. It's not been so easy for her. She's also looking forward to having other jobs apart from the one she was doing, because, she had other qualifications. She, in short, shared her life story with that person. And before she got back to work, before she got back to her office, the person she told her life story had already called her officer. She does not think this person is mentally okay for this job she's doing. And I don't know, and all this while, till she left, the person was extra nice to her, encouraging her, motivating her, doing all sorts. But before she got to the office, she got a report already waiting for her, that the person reported that she doesn't think this lady that came to our place today is mentally okay or mentally stable for the job and all that. And she was shocked. And that's just, sometimes people can be nice to you and not it might not be real. Don't just be so relaxed that you share things that you're not supposed to share, even as much as in the workplace, as much as where. Don't just be careful with the kind of things you share with people. Don't just assume this person is nice to me, I can share away. Don't share away, dear sis, my dear. Be careful with what you share. Guys, this one, when I think back about this assumption, I just knew that my first job, I made this assumption with it, and I don't know why I still got the job, because this assumption cost me other jobs. And the assumption is that, for example, I'll just make this as an example. For example, you're applying to a customer service role, say in a bank, and during the interview, because you are trying to maybe impress them to say that you are there for the long haul, you are going to be in that company or in that line of career for a long time, you now went ahead to tell them that, so even though you are applying for a customer service role, you're already writing exams, or you're already doing things that will take you away from that role to a higher level in that company. So for example, I'm using a bank as an example. For example, you apply for a customer service role, and you're not telling them during your interview that you're already planning to write, for example, your mutual funds exam. People that are in banking know that this mutual funds exam is what you need to write to scale up, to move into sales role and all that. And during that interview of customer service, you're telling them that, so you're already in the process of writing your mutual funds exam, and so you are going to be staying in banking for a while and all that. For some people, that might be a reason for them not to employ you. That was a wrong assumption, to state that I was already doing something that would take me away from that role they are interviewing me for to an higher level role. The reason is because they don't want to keep doing interviews. So if they see you as somebody that you are not going to stay in this role for a long time, well, it's okay. Don't worry. Just do your exams and come back and apply for the role that you are hiring. But for this particular one, I would rather take somebody that will be here for a long time. So even if you're not going to be there for a long time, during your interview is not when you tell them that, okay, so I've written exams, or I'm going to write exam, and so these are not questions they will ask you. So this is information that you don't want to volunteer, because they will not ask you what's your 5-year plan? No, those are, I've never gone for an interview and that was what they asked me. They will not ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years or something like that. So this is not information they will ask you for, whether how long you want to stay, or are you doing things that will help you stay in the company for long. So this is an information you should not volunteer. Like, say I am writing the exam to go into sales role. Wrong assumption, because the person interviewing you for CSR role is not going to look for people that they will employ to other roles. I don't know if you get this thing, but wrong assumption to think that because you say that you are doing something that will help you stay in that career path for longer, interviewer would employ you. Because I'm interviewing you to do customer service. I am a customer service supervisor. Don't tell me you are doing something that will take you to sales in 3 months or in 6 months. I want somebody that will be here for the long haul. So wrong assumption I did, and I think it cost me 2 jobs. Because later on, when I knew that was the reason, it was painful, because they did not ask me. It's me that was doing oversharing of information. Wrong assumption, guys. If you are thinking of doing it, don't do it. Don't. Just focus on what you are interviewing for. Focus on your strengths in what you are interviewing for. Don't volunteer information that did not ask you. This assumption, guys. Okay, so I think it didn't take me long to realize that this one, don't do it. And the assumption is that your colleagues will like you. You know the way we like workaholics in Nigeria, that it's okay, I'll do all my jobs. You want to do everything, it's fine, do it. But here, do what you are supposed to do. Don't come and be acting as if you want to take over my job. We don't like workaholics. Just do what you're supposed to do. Don't even try to do extra. Don't even try to, do what is your job description. Please focus on your job description. When it gets to you trying to, it is okay to offer to help, but don't overdo it, because it does that was the wrong assumption that okay, so if I try to help this person, allow me to introduce myself, allow me to do my job. Like, do your own and let me do mine. Wrong assumption to think that if you are working hard, if you are trying to put eyes in every other person's job roles and all that, people will like you. In fact, it's going to be like, what is this person trying to take my job, or is this person trying to and in the same way, don't try. There are some offices that are like you can get a family in such offices where even though your job is there, you are, for whatever reason you are not able to finish up or something, you get people that will help you. In the same way, they don't want you to do their job. Most times they will also not help you do your job when it's when it's your job. Get it done, guy. Just get it done. Find a way, get it done and all that. So wrong assumption to think if you are all over the place, people in your office, like, maybe not all over the place, if you are super helpful, you are super offering yourself, do your job. Do your job, bro. Do your job, sis. And it's okay. Do your job and let other people do their jobs. Wrong assumption to think if you are always offering to help, like, people will like you. That's not the way it works. Sometimes they even want you to, it's okay to say, show me, how do you do this? How do you do this? But tread softly before somebody will think you want to take over their job. This assumption, the day it broke, the day the table of this assumption broke, I laughed my head off. Like, I was like almost rolling on the floor. And this assumption I had was that every white person understands what the other white person is saying. Like, sometimes where the way they are speaking is so fast, and you're like finding it hard to understand, and sometimes you have to say, sorry, can you go a bit slower, or can you say that again or something. I had this assumption that as long as you're a white person, like white, no white, another immigrant white to white, I assume that they always understand what they are saying. Like, they always catch it. The day the table of this assumption was broken was when I was still in the bank. And one thing with customers when I was in the bank is they like small talks. Small talks, like, I had to learn how to do small talks, because there's something they do at the bank when I was there, surveys. They send random surveys to people like, once you come transact and the transaction has to do with your account, you might get a survey to ask how the person that attended to you treated you, how the person was nice and all that. Were you satisfied with the service and all that? one of the reasons you might get a negative score on the survey is if you don't know how to make small talk, because they see it as you are not friendly, you are not accommodating, you don't want to communicate, you are rude. Sometimes not making small talk is seen as you are rude. So when they come and make small talk, sometimes I'm like, okay, now that I don't understand what you're saying, or now that you're too fast, how many times I want to tell you to go slow or something? So sometimes it's just chuckle, laugh, and allow them to talk. Just put in small small responses, especially if I don't understand what you're saying, like you're too fast for me. And so one day I was just asking, there was a white person that was also my colleague, and after she attended to a client and the client left, I was like, how did you understand everything she said? Because I was hearing what she was saying and it was like too fast for me to catch. And she was like, why did you think I understood everything she said? I was like, no, but you were, interactive. Sorry. I was like, no, but you were interactive throughout the conversation. So how come? Because, and if what you're saying is off points, she should have made me said, no, that's not what I meant. That means she was interactive. It was like they were having a full conversation. But this person said, no, I didn't understand everything she said. I was just, trying to, and this person is an elderly person. So she's been here all her life. So it was not like, maybe she's been here all her life. So she said she doesn't why would I think it's everything that somebody said that she doesn't get everything too. And sometimes even if she gets everything, she's not in the mood to talk. So sometimes she just flows along just so that she does not get the negative score on the survey. I was like, what? So you don't, she said no, she doesn't understand everything. So she just, whatever she thinks or whatever she catches, she tries to give a response based on what she catches. And me, have been here thinking that the reason I don't understand was because, I just, did not have the years to catch, the grammar or the English or the flow of conversation and all that. So since that time, I know that, okay, it's all of us. We are trying to understand ourselves together. Wrong assumption to think that this person will definitely understand all the things this person is saying because of their skin color. Wrong assumption. This other one is even, very, very funny. Like it was very, very funny. And it was an assumption that you can guess somebody's nationality or something based on the name they tell you they are answering. Okay, so there was this person that, when we spoke, he said his name was Jibenga. And I just assumed that, this person cannot be Nigerian. This person will be, Jibenga is not a Nigerian name. Jibenga, maybe an Igbo. I've never heard Jibenga in. Guys, do you know that Jibenga was actually a Benga that was trying to make life easier for the white people to pronounce his name? So you cannot assume that this person's name is their name. This person's pronunciation of name is their real name, or I don't even know. But I was shocked. I was like, how did Benga enter Jibenga? How did he enter? How did he become the same thing? How did they come together to mean that it's the same person? How is Jibenga Benga? You cannot assume that this person, because you hear that name and you're like, oh, maybe on the phone, or even you are seeing them, you say, oh, hello, my name is Jibenga. You're like, maybe he's a South African. Person is Nigerian, trying to, just try to find a maybe easier way, funky way of calling his name so that people's teeth does not remove. So these are some of the assumptions I've had since I got here, which I'm is realizing that they are wrong assumptions is helping me have a better perspective about life, have a better perspective about relating with people. I hope you enjoyed watching. Until we see in the next video, have a beautiful life. Bye guys. Bye.